Is being recorded.
Squawking is funny. Good evening, everybody. My name is Scott Memhard. I am the Ward 1 City Councilor and Chair of our City of Gloucester Budget and Finance Committee. We're located in the City Hall conference room, committee room, as well as virtually online via Zoom. This is the Budget and Finance Committee meeting of Thursday, October 23rd, and it's 5:30, and we're starting. Again, my name is Scott Memhard, Ward 1 City Councilor. With me is Councilor at Large, Tony Gross. And as far as I know, we're expecting Councilor at Large, Jeff Worthley to join us. I haven't heard differently. I haven't either. So unless anyone has a request, I'll go ahead and take items in order. Who should I introduce online? I see Jenny Benedict. Hi, Jenny. Who else do we have online? Jenny Costa, our city auditor. And with us also is Connor McCorkle, our CFO. So we'll take things as presented in our agenda. We have a relatively full and lengthy agenda this evening. We'll move things right along though. The first item is a memorandum from our city clerk and a 2026 special budgetary transfer number 1 in the amount of $9,042.20 and SBT 2026 SB2 in the amount of $366.85. And both of these are for reimbursement of police details on the September 16th, 2025 preliminary elections here in Gloucester. And I think that's self-explanatory.
Yeah.
I would
Very much so.
I would read the motion. Committee recommendation, move to recommend the City Council approve a special budgetary transfer, SBT 2026 number 1 in the amount of $9,042.20 from registration police detail account number as noted to our police uniform overtime account number as noted. And this again is for the reimbursement of police details for the September 16th, 2025 preliminary election. And I so move.
Second.
Motion is made, seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. 2 in favor, 1 absent, 0 opposed. And the second half of this is the tag end amount of $366.85. And the committee recommendation, Budget and Finance moves to recommend that the City Council approve a special budgetary transfer 2026 SBT number 2 in the amount of $366.85. And this is from registration police detail account number as noted to police uniform shift differentials account number as noted, and for the purpose of reimbursement for police details for the September 16th, 2025 preliminary election. And I so move.
Second.
Motion been made, seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 2 in favor, 0 opposed, 1 absent. Item number 2 on our budget agenda tonight is a memorandum from the Archives Committee requesting our acceptance of donations for a 4-step folding ladder, a 3-step foldable ladder, and a 2-door mini fridge. We don't need a ladder to get into the 2-door mini fridge, I don't think. Total amount is $217.82. The motion would be to move to recommend that the City Council accept under Mass General Law, Chapter 44, 53A and 1/2, a tangible donation of a 4-step folding ladder, a 3-step folding ladder, and a 2-door mini fridge for the total amount of $217.82. And I so move.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 2 in favor, 0 opposed, 1 absent. Item number 3, again from the Archives Committee, requesting our acceptance of a donation in the amount of $111. And I would move to recommend that the City Council accept various cash donations under Mass General Law 4453A to support the Archives Committee in the amount of $111 from various members of the community. And I so move.
Second.
Motion been made, seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 2 in favor, 0 opposed, 1 absent. Moving along to veterans. Number 4 on our agenda is a memorandum from the Veterans Services Director requesting a donation to support the Cape Ann Veterans Services in the amount of $4,000. And I would move to recommend that the city council accept various cash donations under Mass General Law, Chapter 4453A, to support veteran services in the amount of $4,000 from the following members and business partners within our community, whom are, excuse me, the Sergeant David Coulard Memorial Fund, Thomas Grossman, the Rotary Club of Gloucester, and Ed Camo, for a total of $4,000. And again, I would like to draw special attention to the generosity of the David Coulard Memorial donation that his mom and stepfather have made. He was a Marine who was killed in Iraq and loved coming to Gloucester, he and his family. Total is $4,000. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 2 in favor, 0 opposed, 1 absent. Item number 5 on the Budget and Finance agenda is a memorandum from the Community Development Director requesting our payment of a fiscal year 2025 invoice or invoices with fiscal year 2026 funds. And this is in the total amount of $6,137.16. And there are 4 components to this. And I'll go ahead and read those through. The first is Budget and Finance moves to recommend that the City Council, in accordance with Mass General Law 4464, approve payment of a prior year invoice and obligation from the Essex National Heritage Commission, provided programs and promotion for the Battle of Bunker Hill event. And this is for the purpose of paying an invoice as outlined by the Community Development Director in a memo dated October 6, 2025, for the invoice dated August 4th, 2025, for the 250th Battle of Bunker Hill reenactment at Stage Fort Park from June 21st through June 22nd, 2025, for a total of $5,000. And this is to be paid with available funds from the fiscal year 2026 General Fund Community Development Budget. And I so move.
Second.
And we all remember that this was a wonderful event and historic reenactment, which brought Stage Fort Park back to life as a surrogate for Bunker Hill.
Certainly was.
And needless to say, the British won. Again, motion's been made, seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 2 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 absent. Next part of this is a Budget and Finance motion to recommend that the City Council, in accordance with Mass General Law 4464, approve payment of a prior year invoice and obligation from Seaside Graphics for providing rack cards for the promotion of the Battle of Bunker Hill event at Stage Fort Park. And this is for the purpose of paying an invoice as outlined by the Community Development Director in a memo dated October 6, 2025, for the invoice dated June 17th, 2025, in the amount of $185. And this shall be paid with available funds from the fiscal year 2026 General Fund Community Development Budget. And I so move.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 2 in favor, 0 opposed, 1 absent. The third item here is a community recommendation. Budget and Finance moves to recommend the City Council, in accordance with Mass General Law 4464, approve payment of a prior year invoice and obligation from the Gloucester Tourism Alliance, who provided branded promotional material supporting the Gloucester Fresh campaign. And this is for the purpose of paying an invoice as outlined by the Community Development Director in a memo dated October 6, 2025, for the invoice dated June 13th, 2025, and for a total amount of $785.19 to be paid with available funds from the fiscal year 2026 General Fund Community Development Budget. And I so move.
Second.
Motion's made, seconded. Any further discussion?
That's for a lot of money. Sunglasses.
Seeing none. Besides that, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 2 in favor, 0 opposed, 1 absent. And the fourth and final item in this number 5 matter is a committee recommendation. Budget and Finance moves to recommend that the City Council, in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 4464, approve payment of a prior year invoice and obligation from Susan Morale for expenses associated with the Historical Commission Preservation Awards. And this is for the purpose of paying a reimbursement as outlined by the Community Development Director in a memo dated October 6, 2025, This is for various reimbursements and invoices dated May 8th through May 29th, 2025, for a total of $166.97 to be paid with available funds from this fiscal year 2026 general fund community development budget. And I so move.
Second.
Motion made, seconded.
This is Kenny or Connor, should this be standard operating procedure?
No, I think that there was more in this department than there would normally be, so we've kind of fine tuned what to do at the year end to prevent this going forward.
I mean, yeah, having a committee member buy stuff up front.
So someone's being reimbursed? No,
Yeah.
this would not be, they should be purchased through the city.
Yeah,
And we can make sure that happens as
Yeah.
well.
okay.
I thought you meant the number of invoices here.
No, not the number of invoices, but particularly Seaside Graphics. Do we have POs that are cut with Seaside Graphics?
Yes, we would normally
Yeah.
just go directly to them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think that.
Can I just add one thing? So if I could through the chair, the other benefit of the city paying the vendor directly is not paying the sales tax. So
Right.
unfortunately, we're not able to reimburse sales tax for reimbursements. So the city, when we make the purchase directly, we can, because we're sales tax exempt, the sales tax is removed.
Yeah, I just think it needs to be, the message needs to be communicated, that's all. I mean, there's nothing wrong with what's happened here, it's just, people shouldn't have to be putting it on their own credit card. I know it can be expedient, but. Okay, that's it.
So this fourth item has been moved, seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 2 in favor, 1 absent, 0 opposed. Item number 6 on our budget and finance agenda, memorandum from the police chief requesting our acceptance of a donation from Endicott College. And this is in the amount of $3,490. And I would move budget and finance to recommend that the city council accept under Mass General Law, Chapter 4453A and 1/2, a tangible donation of 10 iPads from Endicott College with an estimated total worth of $3,490 for the Gloucester Police Community Impact Unit programs. And I so move.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? No. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion made and seconded. Voted 2 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 absent. And the next item, number 7, is a memorandum from our general counsel regarding community impact unit lease arrangements or agreements with the YMCA of the North Shore. Budget and Finance moves to recommend that the City Council approve the disposition of by means of a lease as provided in a lease agreement number 26040 for the Community Impact Unit at 5 Center Street between the City of Gloucester and the YMCA of the North Shore, pursuant to the terms and conditions stated therein. Said term is to be 10 years from November 1st, 2025 through October 31st, 2035. And I so move.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
I don't see any break of lease language in here.
Suzanne, Suzanne's line?
No.
She was going to join
No.
to talk about this.
You want me to see if she's in her office?
Should be okay. It's new to me as well, because Suzanne's been working on this.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you wanna see if she's down there?
Hold on and see if she's there. I think we're.
Because
It'll take a while.
usually it says,
Determination.
termination clause, and I did not see it. Default clause.
We obligated for 10 years.
Render shall expiration or other termination of this lease. Doesn't-
Oh, it does say the contract shall be canceled if funds are not appropriated or otherwise made available
So
to support
so if it
continuation
doesn't get put in the budget, then it's over.
in any fiscal year succeeding the first year.
Oh, okay. All right.
Kathy said that Suzanne was at a seminar today.
All right, no problem.
Yeah, I don't think that's a problem.
Connor just,
Yeah.
It was a good question and helpful clarification.
yeah,
So it does say subject to appropriation. Just good.
okay, good.
I wish I could negotiate leases like that.
Yeah.
subject to
Appropriation.
revenue. Okay, so the motion's been made, seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Two in favor. One absent and zero opposed. Item number 8 on our agenda. A memorandum from the superintendent of Gloucester Public Schools requesting our payment of a fiscal year 2025 invoice with fiscal year 2026 funds. This is in the amount of $26,402.51. And the committee recommendation is for Budget and Finance to move to recommend that the City Council, in accordance with Mass General Law 4464, approve payment of a prior year invoice and obligation from Standard Insurance, provided life insurance and short-term disability insurance coverage during fiscal year 2025 for the purpose of paying an invoice as outlined by the school superintendent memo dated October 6, 2025, for a total of $26,402.51. And this is to be paid with available funds from the fiscal year 2026 general fund school department budget. Lines. Before we vote on that, we want to go back just to clarify the community impact unit lease.
I guess Suzanne, you there?
Yes, I am. Sorry about being late.
Not at all.
The question was there's no termination clause, but Connor pointed out that it's subject to appropriation, so that sort of equals a termination clause.
Yes, that's correct.
That was it.
We just weren't sure of that 10-year term. What the obligations under that were. So we're good, Tony?
Yep.
Okay, we've moved that up already, but we appreciate your clarification on that, Suzanne. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, the next item we're considering here, item number 8, welcome to Councillor Worthley.
Thank you. Wish I could have here sooner.
Not at all.
Thank you.
And this is for the $26,402.51 available funds payment from school department budget. Any discussion about this? Relating to insurance?
Yeah. It's a bill that needs to get paid.
So I'll go ahead and, I've read the motion. It's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 2 in favor. 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Welcome again. Item number 9 on our budget and finance agenda is a memorandum from the DPW finance manager requesting payment of a fiscal year 2025 invoice with fiscal year 2026 funds in the amount of $7,055.82. This relates to a motion to recommend that the City Council, in accordance with Mass General Law 4464, approve payment of prior year invoice and obligation from Sprague provided natural gas to school and municipal public buildings from May to June 2025, and this is for the purpose of paying an invoice as outlined by the DPW financial manager in a memo dated October 6, 2025 for the invoice dated July 26, 2025. And this is for a total of $7,055.82 to be paid with available funds from fiscal year 2026 general fund and Rink Enterprise DPW budgets. And I so move.
Second.
Motion's been made and well seconded. Any further discussion on this one?
So, yeah, these did not come in until July. So,
Yeah, I know that DPW finance manager struggles with the meter readings. You know, you never quite know how they're going to appear in the invoice. So the end of the fiscal year can be really tricky.
It's too bad there wasn't a way to say, if we get the bill in 2026, we can pay it in 2026 money, right? For all of these, but I understand the state law.
Whatever was budgeted in 2025.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we are paying it with 2026 money, but
Right.
the money that was there fell to free cash.
It's nice to see that there's money in the Rink Enterprise account to cover this. That was money's coming from, right? So
Yeah.
nice to see.
Excellent.
That's not been the case for a long time. So
Right.
So the motion's been made, accepted. All those in favor? 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Item number 10, Jenny, this is, you're up finally. Memorandum from the library director, Jenny Benedict, requesting acceptance of the Massachusetts Technology Collaborative Digital Equity Funding Agreement, number 22670, Amendment 1, and this is in the amount of $100,000. And I'll read the motion, Jenny, and then you can tell us a little bit more about it. But I would move to recommend for Budget and Finance to the City Council accept a federal grant under Mass General Law 4453A, a collaborative digital equity amendment 1 grant from the U.S. Department of Treasury, passed through the Commonwealth of Massachusetts as the Coronavirus State Fiscal Recovery Fund and passed through the Massachusetts Technology Collaborative in the amount of $100,000 for the purpose of supporting the Sawyer Free Library's digital equity plan. The grant period is from October 24th, 2025 through October 30th, 2026, and there is no local match for this grant. Congratulations, Jenny. Tell us a little bit about this.
Thank you and good evening, councilors. Appreciate the opportunity to talk about this grant a little bit. I think in December of last year, we appeared before you and presented Gloucester's first digital equity plan. And that work had been supported through the Massachusetts Broadband Institute. As a follow-up to that, we then became eligible to submit an implementation grant application. And we were successful in achieving the maximum amount of that award in the amount of $100,000. So this will fund a couple of pieces of very important and high priority items that were identified through our digital equity planning process. The first was or is the free outdoor Wi-Fi access. This project will bring free outdoor Wi-Fi access to Burnham's Field and also to the Harbor Master's office. The Harbor Master's office has a fiber infrastructure in place, so it's a case of just adding the Wi-Fi access points. Whereas with Burnham's Field, this will be adding a new bit of fiber line off the municipal pike and bringing it to Burnham's Field, where then there will be access points attached. So also in this grant is a funding for a second session of the Computer Basics course at Sawyer Free Library in our new digital learning lab. We currently have launched our first session of the Computer Basics course. We are still accepting applicants to that course. It's 15 hours of self-paced and guided instruction, and it covers sort of 4 modules of information. Let me just get that here. So introduction to computers and the internet, productivity software, safety, and online communication. So those that complete the course are eligible for a free Chromebook and a year's worth of internet service with a hotspot, and that is based on economic need. So we're very excited that we're going to be able to offer a second session of this training program in the spring. The sort of third piece of the grant is some funding for our consultants to keep working with us, both to support the implementation of these 2 projects, as well as the newly formed Digital Equity Steering Committee. So that's a bit of an overview of the grant, and I would be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much, Jenny. Councilors, questions? Councilor Gross.
Yeah, Jenny, you have 50 Chromebooks at $2,500. More like $25,000 for 50 Chromebooks.
These are refurbished Chromebooks. So that is why it's actually, we make a contribution to one of the, there's several outfits that refurbish the Chromebooks and then effectively give them to organizations such as ourselves. In our case, we are providing a small stipend to those organizations for the work they do.
Great.
Excellent.
Good observation.
$50 a piece.
Yeah.
That's the case.
Very frugal.
Wow,
Yeah.
except for that. Pretty updated.
Right, I would say if that were the case for anyone.
Yeah, right, yeah.
I only have one question, if I may.
Councilor Worthley.
First, thank you, Jenny, again, for bringing this to us and the excitement that comes around this and people having opportunities to use technology that they might not know how to use yet, or I appreciate that there's the free Chromebooks and the access to Wi-Fi. In regards to the line you're running to Burnham's Field, is there an expectation or an agreement from the city, the DPW, to do any installation, digging trench? I don't know how that works. I'm not gonna say no until that's like, I'm happy with it either way. I just want to get an idea of what the expectation is for Mike Hale and for the DPW, if there's any installation work.
Yeah, so thank you for that question, Councillor Worthley. There is actually DPW already has work planned in this area. And so this is being opportunistic in terms of while the DPW work is happening, to go ahead and put the fiber line in. So there's not an additional cost to the city to do that piece of the project.
I didn't know that. Good work.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you to John Gillis. He's my partner on this grant. Was not able to be with us this evening, but he's very much been involved with the planning part of the outdoor Wi-Fi access.
Great. Okay. Answered my question. Thank you, Jenny.
Anything else?
No.
So the motion's been made and seconded. Jenny has addressed the details of that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 3 in favor, 0 opposed, and great debt of gratitude to you, Jenny. Carry on the good work.
Thank you so much.
And item number 11 on our agenda from Budget and Finance this evening is a memorandum from the police chief requesting our acceptance of a donation from 100 Who Care Cape Ann in the amount of $14,693. Is the chief with us?
No.
Our soon to be retired chief? So I think that's probably self-evident. The recommendation would be for Budget and Finance to recommend that the City Council accept a cash donation under Mass General Law, Chapter 44, 53A, to support the Police Department and Community Impact Unit programs and activities in the amount of $14,693. This is from the following business partner in our community, that is 100 Who Care Cape Ann, and the amount is $14,693, and I so move.
Second.
Any further discussion, questions?
I just want to note, and I didn't know this, that Jane Remsen from our planning board is the co-founder of 100 Care Cape Ann. I didn't know that. She said in a letter that was attached to this. So kudos to Jane and
Yeah.
her organization.
And they are to help the community impact unit to assist individuals facing substance use disorder and housing insecurity.
I think it's awesome that there's more people working on these things than we know. That's awesome.
Important resources.
Yeah.
The motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 3 in favor, 0 opposed. And brings us to the item number 12 on our agenda, Kenny, which is you and items having expenditures exceeding their authorization and any other auditors related business.
Thank you. Good evening. So I sent 2 reports yesterday. One was for the year-to-date budget report on the city side. So this report essentially, it's not just the naughty list, it's also the good list as well. So going through the report, there were just 5 accounts or 5 departments where they're either the personal services or ordinary maintenance or capital were in a projected deficit. And then on the school report, it was run by location, by school, and there was 5 schools that have a projected deficit at this point. But bottom line, the school at the end of September, at the end of the first quarter, still showed a positive available budget of $8.4 million. So that's just kind of an overview of the 2 reports, unless the counselors, I know it's, it's much easier to look at just one page. The first report was 17 pages, again, include the general fund and the 4 enterprise funds. And the school is just it's a very simple, it's just a 1-pager that's listed by school. but nothing here that surprised me.
Thank you, Kenny. Lots of numbers, lots of moving pieces. But it seems like we're on track. Counselors, any questions?
I just have a question on not the data, but the report, so I understand. So if we're 1 quarter into the year, you'd like to see things at 25% or less to show, to show where we are, but because it's encumbered already, then, right, it shows a different number. So, as you can say, you see a deficit. It's hard to know, looking at this, if we've already encumbered some of the money, we're at 84%. So if you didn't know better, you'd be like, oh my God, we've spent 84% of our year's expenditure and we only have 25% of the year so far. So can you just help me correlate what is like the 84% used already is because you have contracts and you know what they're gonna be? Like, help me just understand the 84% versus 1 quarter through the year. And you have to.
Yeah, so basically what you'd have to do is you'd have to look at the year-to-date expended column and look at that. And really that would only apply really to salaries or purchase of services. So the personal service, which is the salaries accounts, actually being close to 100%, that's actually where you want to be. Unless there's a change in the department, they could have, so if you see a department in personal services and they're at 75 or 80%, that could be because they may had a personnel change and there may be some lag funds and they're looking to maybe fill a position. But typically the way I always view these reports, when I look at the 96% for salaries or 87 or 96, that means I feel the department's doing a good job managing. Like they actually, the personal, the salaries have been calculated properly. So I view that as a good thing. The ordinary maintenance, as you said, there's contracts. So typically, they'll create purchase orders throughout the year, and there could be contracts attached to those. So typically when I look at those, as long as it's under 100%, that's usually pretty good. If it's under 50, that could mean some departments, it could be that, everything's running pretty well, that, like there may not be an emergency or something that, came up, especially in public safety. But if, like, for example, if you look at Public Works, just looking at the trash on page 7, there's a deficit of 188,000 in their personal services account. So obviously, there's a reason for that with the work stoppage. So that's something that, there's a deficit. But then if you look at the ordinary maintenance, they've only used 14%, right? So obviously, at some point during the year, there'll be a transfer or something will occur. Some budgetary transfer will occur during the year, before the year is over.
I'm surprised it only costs 188,000 for the solid waste, the additional cost for the solid waste and recycling work. So, and we didn't pay Republic during that period of time. Is that right?
Correct. We actually, I do recall seeing the purchase order. I actually didn't approve it. I rejected it because of the labor stoppage. So we haven't paid anything.
Wouldn't that be reflected in the TW solid waste REC?
Ordinary.
It would be in the ordinary. So there's $2.4 million available as of September 30th. 2.4 million available.
We did receive services from Republic, so there is a bill we're gonna have to pay.
Yeah, but we haven't paid them yet.
Let's go simple. First line, city council personnel.
Yeah. So the issue with there on the first line, I believe it's encumbrances. The 86,000, that's not correct. So that's something that needs to be corrected. So I don't believe there's an issue there. That's just you know, like, so each one has its own story. That's that one. It's the encumbrance, the 86,000. It's not calculated properly. The second line, as you can see, the budget's 37,400. We've only expended $59. There's no encumbrances outstanding right now, so there's 37,000 available. So it's 0.2% that's been expended. And my guess, the $59, I believe that's for business cards, I believe.
Thank you.
Good. Lots of numbers to chew. Anything else before us tonight?
That's all I have.
Thank you very much, Kenny.
Thank you.
Do we hear a motion to adjourn? Is there a second? Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 3 in favor, 0 opposed.